Hold on, does my hair look okay?
Yeah.
All right. So number one, who had number one? Okay, read the sentence and then tell us what you did.
I go dancing at the club. I go dancing at that club. Hardly ever do I go dancing at that club.
Good. Hardly ever, negative, do I go dancing at that club. Perfect. Who had number two? Go ahead, Meadow.
I go to bed before finishing my homework. And we have to use under no circumstances do I go to bed before finishing my homework.
Excellent. That is correct. Who had number three? Go ahead.
I went swimming in the ocean when I was young. Seldom did I go swimming in the ocean when I was young.
Good. That's correct. Number four. Who had number four? All right, Khalid.
I have seen a more beautiful sunset. Rarely have I seen beautiful sunset. A beautiful sunset.
Ooh, almost. Just do it one more time. Don't leave anything out.
Rarely have I seen a beautiful sunset.
Try one more time.
More of beautiful sunset.
Yeah, and actually you were right, but if we want to be complete, we put that in there. Everybody okay? So, read it one more time. The correct answer. Rarely.
Rarely have I seen a more beautiful sunset.
Perfect. Five. Who had five? Faisal?
I will go sky diving with you tomorrow. By no means would I go sky diving with you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Good job. Six. Who had six?
I have eaten better food than we had at the restaurant tonight. Now here, have I eaten better food than we had at the restaurant tonight?
Yeah. Good. Man, good job, guys. Seven. Who had seven?
I would ask a friend to borrow $1,000. Never would I ask a friend to borrow $1,000.
Good job. Eight.
They were never afraid that the plane would crash during the flight. At no time were they afraid that the plane would crash during the flight.
Good job. Good job. Number nine. Kehun, will you do number? Did you have number nine?
The teacher didn't administer the test until all the students had arrived. Not until and all the students arrived, the teacher didn't administer the test.
Now, this one's weird. Not until...
Did the teacher administer?
do you guys see the until in the sentence?
Yeah.
Put that part first, right? So, not until, and then finish it. Not until
All the students had arrived.
had arrived, and then the inversion is on the main clause. Okay? It's kind of like one of those only. Yep. So, not until all the students had arrived. Kehun, can you finish it? It's okay.
Okay. Not until all the students had arrived, did the teacher test?
Yes. So you had to get rid of that negative, right? Yeah, that's a little tricky. But that's right. You got
Can I
it
say
right. Yeah.
like not until did the teacher administer the test until all the students arrived?
No, you're getting the negative out of where they're.
No?
Yeah. Now listen, because the negative is on the front, listen, negatives are tricky business. But your negative, right, is on the until statement. It threw it over to the other side. So in order for it to make sense, you get rid of it on the front side. And you got to put the negative inversion on the front for it to happen, for it to be negative inversion. So you got to take the adverb time phrase, okay, and put the negative and the adverb time phrase on the front. Not until, leave the verb and subject alone in that clause. Not until all the students had arrived, and then get rid of the negative on the main clause. Did the teacher administer the test?
Like only if.
Yes, it is. Everybody, you okay? Do I need to? Okay. You're okay, I'm okay. I think I'm okay. That's disputed. 10. Who has 10? Who wants 10? Mohammed, do you know what you're doing? No.
The contractor tore down the walls, but he will also replace them by the end of the week. Not only the contractor tore down the walls, but also will he replace them by the end of the week.
Good. Read the first part, just the first part. Not only,
The contractor.
yes, did the contractor tear down. Yep. Everybody okay? Did he put that up there? No. Not only did the contractor tear, remember we use the auxiliary did, that carries the past tense and then you got to use the base form, right? Not only did the contractor tear down the walls, but he will also replace them by the end of the week.
So what does the term mean?
Breakdown.
Only the contractor turn down the wall. What do you do?
Not only did the contractor tear down the walls, but no. Hey, listen, be
But
careful. Be careful.
It will
Because in this situation, the only here, it is not attached to an adverb clause. It's attached to an independent clause. The second part of the sentence is another independent clause. So you don't see the weird, the only staying the same. And that's probably confusing you. This is not one of those only when, and then an adverb clause, and then the main clause. For instance, go back over to page... remember when we talked about when you put only on the front, and it starts the adverb clause? And we talked yesterday that the verb, the subject and verb, and the adverb clause starting with only stays normal, and then the independent clause, you get the inversion on that. That is not what this is. A not only is not the same as an only. Are you okay? So it just goes back to the old rules. And it works like a normal negative inversion. Be careful! This is like Halloween, man. All over again. Alright. Everybody okay? Nora, are you okay?
After the word comma.
After what?
Number 10 is the tear down the word comma, but he will also.
Here, let me write it. I'll just write it up here. It's confusing. Let's see.
And then number 9 is not until all the students had arrived.
So
Comma or-
I probably just erased it. So listen, does it need a comma is your question?
Yes.
Not only... Okay, hold on. The teacher didn't administer the test until all the students had arrived. Not until all the students had arrived
Comma or not.
did the teacher administer the test. Yes, in that one, the not until is acting like an adverb clause. How do I know that? Well, because actually the sentence, the original sentence, it's an adverb clause, isn't it? Until all the students had arrived. It's acting like an adverb clause in the original sentence, so it's going to act like one, and the rules for adverb clauses are going to apply in the one that we recreate with the negative inversion. Does that make sense? In number 9, the teacher didn't administer the test until all the students had arrived. See, you have an independent clause, the teacher didn't administer the test, and then you have an adverb clause, until all the students had arrived. All we're doing is taking the adverb clause and putting a negative on the front, right? And then putting the independent clause after it. According to the rules, we need a comma when the adverb clause is on the front. In number 10, you're not doing that. It's two independent clauses. And I know that because look at the sentence. It uses in number 10, it uses a comma and then a coordinating conjunction. So it's just separating two independent clauses. So that's why in number 10, you just stick the negative on the front of the first independent clause, and then just leave it. Leave the rest. Does that make sense? Do you want me to write the second one on the board? Thank you. So, let's do that. And let's get a marker that works. Alright, contractor tore down the walls, but he will also replace them by the end of the week. Not only did the contractor tear down the walls, but he will blah, blah, blah. So, again, here's my negative. I had to get that on the front of the independent, clause. And then, of course, here's your inversion, right? Now, over here, it's going to stay the same. It doesn't affect. Yeah. Yes, it did. Sorry. But he. Well, I didn't put anything.
Here we go.
I'm just dot, dot, dot. It's just the rest of the sentence. Okay? You okay? So listen, you only see the freaky weird thing with the only when, or only after. When that particular negative is on the front of an adverb clause, see this is not being put on an adverb clause. It's being put on an independent clause. But if you did see it like in 9, right? The not until, well, that's not even the same as an only. That works like a normal add on the front of an adverb clause. You still see the inversion, right? Inside, not until the teacher had administered the test. I'm sorry, the teacher didn't administer the test until all the students had arrived. Not until all the students had arrived did the teacher administer the test. So that one actually, it works fine. Do you want me to write 9 up? It's hard to say. It just sounds so complicated. Is it up there? Oh. Let's fix this. Not until all the students had arrived did the teacher administer the test. So actually it's acting like that only, the weird only on the front. Not until this stays the same, all the students had arrived. That's the adverb clause on the front with a negative on it. And then did the teacher, here's your inversion. Did the teacher administer the test? So you see the inversion jump to the main clause when you start the negative with an adverb clause. Whew! Are you okay?
Yeah.
That's tricky. It is tricky business, but once it's in your head, I hope it makes sense. All right. Yeah, turn that.